Season 2, episode 16, here with my great friend Gonçalo Freire Andrade, Manchester United fan and Benfica fan. How are you feeling today, my guy?
Wow, what a day to be alive, Alex. Amazing day for me today. Defeating Arsenal, winning the Taça da Liga. I'm just very happy. This doesn't happen often, and being a Benfica fan and a Manchester United fan these years has not been easy. But today is a good day to have this podcast.
And it makes complete sense to have it with you, Gonçalo. Thank you for accepting the invitation. And thank you for everyone that's listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Your help is fantastic. And subscribe to us and give us 5 stars on those platforms. It's a huge help for us here at FC Wonderkid. But yes, we said it. Manchester United knocked out Arsenal. And Arsenal fans now, they gotta be worried. And I've warned Arsenal fans for months now, I'd say for 2 years now, Gonçalo, that Arsenal doesn't have a goal scorer. And when I saw Gabriel Jesus, I thought to myself, it's not enough. When I see Kai Havertz, I think to myself, it's not enough. Trossard, Martinelli, it's not enough. And Arsenal fans, you get to a point that you have to demand a striker from the team, okay? So, how are you feeling, Gonçalo, with this huge win at Manchester United? Because we're going to go bold in this video.
I think bottom line is it really comes down to 2 words what Manchester United have been lacking, which is number 1, intensity, number 2, mentality. And in the Liverpool game and against Arsenal, we definitely showed that. And I have to be proud. Be proud. Maybe we didn't play the most beautiful game. We didn't play. We had a red card at the 60th minute, and that conditioned the game. The game, but then on we showed heart, and that is what I really need to see from these players, and that is what we've been talking so many times for so long that Manchester United need to show, and I think what Ruben and Amorim really brings to this team.
It's true. It's the heart. It's the passion. It's what Ruben Amorim has often expressed, the ability of wanting to win. It's not just wanting. It's a need to win. And Ruben Amorim needs to win at Manchester United because that's the mindset. That's the culture. That's the identity. And that's the priority of Manchester United currently. When I say Manchester United is going to be great again, it's by stating that the culture and the mindset is changing while we're watching. And Amad Diallo, Maguire, De Ligt, Lisandro Martinez, they're all manifesting this change. And even Xerxes, that had a bad week 2 weeks ago, and now he had a good week by changing the mindset and proving to Man United fans he can manifest also that change, just like Amad Diallo. And just the fun fact here is Ruben Amorim has knocked Mikel Arteta out 2 times. 2 times with Sporting 100%. And now at Arsenal. It's going to be very soon. If Arteta is still at Arsenal, there will be a 3rd time in the next time they're going to be together facing each other. My days.
It's really great to see that Ruben Amorim is now a headache on the main Premier League managers against Pep Guardiola with Sporting and Manchester United, against Arsenal with Sporting and Manchester United, and now Arne Slot did not have an easy time against this Manchester United last weekend, and we're really seeing what Ruben Amorim can bring to this Premier League and to this club.
And another thing I gotta say, it's Ruben Amorim and it's Bruno Fernandes. And I understand, Bruno Fernandes is the captain of Manchester United, so if Manchester United is in a bad phase, naturally he's gonna be blamed for that. Because he is part of it, it's completely understandable. But Manchester United currently is showing other leaders than Bruno. Bruno was the leader, the voice, the man that would always be putting the blame because he would manifest the wanting to be that guy. Bruno always wanted to be the guy and the most important player, the player that does the last pass, the player that scores the goal. But Bruno Fernandes, I get the feeling, he understands now there needs to be other leaders at Manchester United, and it's changing. Bruno Fernandes is not the problem at Manchester United. He can be part of the solution. It's not one player that's going to solve Manchester United. It's the collective with Ruben Amorim's identity that at Sporting we saw 11-11 wins in the league, insane 100% wins, and now at Manchester United we can see beating City, beating Arsenal, and in phase 0.5, Ruben beats Arsenal's Arteta's 6th phase. I don't know in what phase is Arteta currently. So, Arsenal fans, be worried about what's happening because times are changing, and Manchester United fans, just embrace the change that is happening. And one last stat to go what I'm saying, Gonçalo. Bruno Fernandes has 86 goals scored for Manchester United. David Beckham, 85 goals. David Beckham obviously has a much better legacy than Bruno. And why is that? Because of titles. Because of titles. And the collective that Beckham was at was insane. So Bruno, he's at the beginning of a new collective that's going to be insane with Ruben Amorim. Manchester United fans trust that that's going to happen because Bruno, again, is not the problem. The players that are going to leave, those are the problems. So how are you feeling with all this?
Talking about Bruno, I really think Ruben Amorim played an important role as well. He, in the against Liverpool, after the game, he mentioned, I'm trying to be more calm. I'm trying to be more composed. He's trying to have a different influence in the team. He showed a lot of frustration with Manchester United results, and that frustration sometimes is not that positive. And frustration, it's contagious to the other players. And right now he seems to be always passionate. Bruno Fernandes is always passionate, but I think Ruben Amorim really tried to place Bruno Fernandes to be a true leader in the team, trying to be contagious in a positive way. And
Exactly.
I think that really changed.
And by having these leaders alongside him, like Maguire would be blamed for the bad form. Bruno Fernandes, as the captain, would be blamed as a consequence because of that form. I just feel a different type of unity, okay? And Manchester United fans, do not worry. You will not see Casemiro and Christian Eriksen midfield anymore. I think, okay? And when Ruben Amorim puts that midfield in play, it's honestly saying to the world, these two players is 500k a week, Casemiro and Eriksen. They have to perform to that salary, and they didn't. So now it's justifiable to have Ugarte and Kobe Mainu, and it's completely justifiable for Casemiro and Eriksen to leave the club. That's the biggest issue of Manchester United. Here at FC Wonderkid Podcast, weekly we express it. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. That is the salary structure of Manchester United. And Mr. Berada, Omar Berada, and Ruben Amorim will fix just that. And by fixing it, masterclass performances are going to come in the Prem and the Champions League. And I believe in the next 2 years, Manchester United will be winning a Premier League. Look, we're going crazy here. So you might as well like this video, okay? Because we're filming straight after the game and we're just expressing our thoughts. But now here on Arsenal, mate, it's Arsenal are out of both cups. Arsenal don't have this goal scorer. We have Arteta blaming the ball. What's going to happen, mates? Blaming the ball in the League Cup loss. Not this one. Maybe he did.
It really makes no sense. I mean, Arteta needs to step up, own to his results, and in the end, you don't have a striker. We know, but then you have to push your direction. You have to push the owners of the club to acquire a new striker. Omar Marmoush going to Manchester City is unacceptable if you're an Arsenal coach. You cannot accept possibly world-class striker that nowadays it's really hard to find, to go to a club that on paper doesn't need him. We can go there after, but on paper does not need him. And
as much as Arsenal, maybe.
As much as Arsenal.
But I'd say they need him too.
No.
But I'd say they need him too.
Anyone needs Omar Marmoush right now. I think Omar Marmoush can add value to any single team around the world right now. I think he's a really good player. We've seen his stats already. He has 19 goals. 12 assists in 25 matches, Omar Marmoush.
Amazing.
That is amazing. So crazy. That he's being clinical. And that is so important for every single team that is performing high right now. And Arsenal should go for a player like this.
I'd say even Benjamin Sesko. I even say Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig, okay? In his last 4 games, he's got 4 goals. He comes back from injury. A very interesting striker. But yes, we're touching the point once again that Arsenal needs a goal scorer. And now with Saka injured, it's more than evident. Gabriel Martinelli, he's also injury prone. It's unfair for Gabriel Jesus, for Havertz, for Trossard to be expected to score the same amount of goals as Erling Haaland, then as Alexander Isaac, as Omar Marmoush too if he comes to the Man City, okay? These are goal scorers, players that like to go, to have, not just have the talent to score goals, but have that feel, okay? Always when they're close to the goal, a goal can come. I get that feeling, and from Martinelli, Trossard, it's not happening with what we see. And the last thing is we see I just got this in here on X. It's Arteta said this: the ref favored United. We deserve to win. Arteta, honestly, you're thinking you deserve to win that game when you have one man up since the 61st minute with Yogdalo. When Arsenal misses a pen in the 90 minutes, how do you deserve to win a game? I want to state that Ruben Amorim and Manchester United, with this win, this mentality, with this passion, this wanting to win, they are the ones that deserve to win. And I'm very sorry, Arteta, but I cannot agree with what you just said. And Bruno Fernandes outplayed Martin Odegaard. It had to be stated. And if Odegaard had outplayed Bruno, I would say the other thing around, okay? It's not Portuguese bias. Please see the actual footage and see that a positive Bruno with a Manchester United with a different mentality. Times are changing. But yes, tell us down below your thoughts about Arsenal Man United. Go Bull! Like this video. It's a huge help for your FC Wonderkid. We will react to more of these games straight after with those likes, people. Thank you so much. And now transfers. You said it, Gonçalo. Omar Marmoush, Man City. Pep Guardiola needed solutions. A rebuild is happening at Manchester City because we see Walker leaving. We see Kusanov from Lens. Great player with great anticipation being signing. Vitor Reis from Palmeiras. Also, trust the process, trust the future signing. How are you feeling here with Omar Marmoush?
I think Omar, just what I've just said, Omar Marmoush is such a good player with the insane stats that he's showing this season. He's going to add value to any single team. But a team like Arsenal, a team like Manchester United, a team like Chelsea, maybe they really need a striker right now, and I think this is the player that they should do everything to get. And
at left winger, Omar Marmoush.
Left winger, right. But he's scoring so many goals. We need someone prolific.
It's true.
These clubs need someone prolific, and I think it's really important to get these players that, in the end, score the goals. Maybe he's not a number 9, a pure number 9, but I think it makes a lot of a very, very big difference.
Think about this, mate. It's when I look at the duos, the goal-scoring duos of the Premier League, I think of Alexander Isak with Anthony Gordon. When I think of Man City, last season, De Bruyne, Haaland. But if De Bruyne is injured, maybe we're going to see now Omar Marmoush, Erling Haaland. At Arsenal, I see Saka and who? And Man United, I see who and who. You need so many of those players. It's not Rashford. It's not Højlund. It's not Xerxes. You need another goal scorer.
I actually have something to say here.
What are you going to say, Gonçalo? Go Bolso.
I really want to give a message to Ineos, Glazers, Ruben Amorim, whoever's making the decisions at Manchester United. Please do not spend 80 million on Vlahovic, so then you cannot get a world-class striker. Do not do this if then you cannot get a Victor Gyökeres. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Because
or even Victor Osimhen.
Or Victor Osimhen, a world-class striker. You need to make a decision to spend the money on the right players. Again, a world-class club needs world-class players. You can't spend, again, 80 million or 60 million on Højlund. You need to spend the money on the player that is going to make a difference, and you really understand that this player is going to make a difference. And I believe Victor Gyökeres is that man, and I don't think, and we haven't seen that from Vlahovic, from Kolomouani, that is what we're seeing right now, and maybe Osimhen as well. But I really think right now there is no bigger striker than Victor Gyökeres, and if you can get him, and Ruben Amorim can make the best out of Victor Gyökeres, please do not spend great amounts of money in players that are not good enough.
Understandable, and especially even if Manchester United knows that in the summer they can get a signing like Victor Gyökeres. Okay,
exactly.
So if that is the case, you just stall it and wait for the summer and make that happen.
That is my message. Stall it. Do not spend 80 million on Vlahovic and get Victor Gyökeres in the summer. Right now, we have not sufficient enough strikers. We don't. We need to go for the Europa League. Maybe get someone on a loan. Maybe get someone on that is cheap. But do not spend 80 million on a Vlahovic if you can get Victor Gyökeres in summer.
If a loan for Kolomouani happens, it's not bad, Gonçalo. A loan for Kolomouani.
A loan deal, it's okay. That is exactly my point. Huh? That is exactly my point. If you can get a loan for Kolomouani, if you can get a loan for Victor Osimhen, that makes sense. Now, if you need to spend 80 million. Do not spend it on Vlahovic now because you're desperate.
Exactly.
Spend it on Viktor Gyökeres, or maybe have a premium of 20 million and add to a world-class striker and spend 100 million on Viktor Gyökeres.
And it makes complete sense with what you're saying, Gonzalo. It makes complete sense. And to add to this topic of Viktor Gyökeres, the Manchester United, or even other goal scorers that can go, that will have high salaries, for Manchester United to afford a salary of Viktor Gyökeres above 250k, 300k, they have to let go of Luke Shaw, Rashford, Casemiro, Eriksen, maybe Anthony, maybe Mason Mount if they're not performing on the pitch. The only player in the top 5 top earners of Manchester United that I retain is Bruno Fernandes. Why? It's self-explanatory. He scores goals, he assists, he makes a difference. So for Manchester United to sign these top players that I completely believe it's going to be very soon, Gonzalo, in the summer, they have to let go of all these players. Even Lindelof, I don't know if I mentioned in all that. But yes, let's see what's going to happen. Where's Rashford going, so? Where is Rashford going? Because if you're saying, get it to United, understandable, we see the tabloids.
Rashford is going to Milan. Ibrahimovic is not letting him not go, and we need to make a good deal. Manchester United needs to make a good deal on Marcus Rashford to go to Milan, get some deal. We have so much debt. Last year we had such big losses.
How much would you sell Rashford for? 30, 40 million? How much would be the best price, you'd say? And how much would AC Milan also be willing to pay for Marcus Rashford?
Right. Serie A teams don't really spend crazy amounts of money on players. They would rather get a good deal or from upcoming leagues and not from a Premier League and spend more than 50 million on a player. And that is the problem. But I think 50 million would be around the right price for Marcus Rashford. That's because I really rate Marcus Rashford right. I highly. I really think Marcus Rashford is a really, really good player. The only
wait. Do you think he's going to be Marcus Rashford? Imagine. So let's put this hypothesis. It's Marcus Rashford signs for AC Milan in a 6-month loan. Will we see him playing for England in the near future?
If he performs, I mean, if he plays well for AC Milan, I'm 100% sure we'll see him.
I'm dubious because I see a lot of the Sky Sports media talking about Marcus Rashford going to Dortmund, Marcus Rashford going to AC Milan, going to Juventus, even going to Lake Como, and they all 100%. State that Marcus Rashford is going to have the same output as Jadon Sancho. I'm a skeptical. I really believe he's an elite goal scorer when he's in form. But with Sancho, I saw elite in one-on-one situations. I saw other things that collectively it can be better for a team. And Marcus Rashford, in more individual moments, I think he can be insane. But defensively, I don't see him coming back and tracking back and defending. I don't see him doing those moments that you could see he's working for the team. So I'm still doubtful. That's why I was asking you, Gonzalo. It just out of curiosity. In that sense,
in modern football, the attackers need to start defending, and they need to improve. And that's an issue that AC Milan is also seeing with Rafael Leão. And Sérgio Conceição and Paulo Fonseca put Rafael Leão on a bench for a reason. And I really believe it's tied to the problem of him not defending. He's crazy when attacking. He has that pace, that the way he walks around the ball, the way he dribbles the players, it's world class. But every single team right now needs attackers that are able to defend. And this is also something we're seeing with João Félix. João Félix is also a player that is greatly talented. Everybody agrees on this. But he does not fit a team in modern football where he doesn't defend. He's not aggressive in defending. And if Marcus Rashford does not adapt his game, he will not see any national team time.
I completely agree.
He has to
especially when Thomas Tuchel is the manager of England too. And when you see an Anthony Gordon that does this tracking back and helps other players improve their skills. Even Lewis Hall, Anthony Gordon on the left, that is elite. And it could translate to the England national team. It could happen. But we're mentioning wingers, we're mentioning people that are on the move here in the transfer window. Khvicha to PSG. Wow, that was unexpected. All of a sudden, Antonio Conte says, Khvicha wants to leave. I can't convince him. It's not that crazy, mate. When I think about it, because I did my digging, okay? And Khvicha wanting to leave Napoli, it's not that crazy if you see his salary, because Khvicha Kvaratskhelia salary amongst Napoli players in the 22-23 season, he was the 18th most well paid. When you go to the 23-24, he was still the 18th in terms of the salary structure. And now this season, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, amongst Napoli salary earners, he's the 14th. How can you do this 3 seasons in a row, not being in the top 10 earners at Napoli? This is a mistake, and this cannot happen at a club with this level, okay? This cannot. I know Giantoli, the sporting director, goes to Juve, but come on, you still have to fix these issues. So how are you feeling with this?
I totally agree. It's just sad on a football heritage level, Alex. It's just sad to see Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen being treated like this at Napoli. It's sad that they go to a Galatasaray, PSG, when they have potential to go to a great club, maybe even a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, a Bayern, a Manchester United, an Arsenal, a Liverpool. And we're seeing these players, they are so talented, that have performed in the Africa Cup of Nations, in the Euros, and that right now do not have the right support from the club that they're in. And it's just sad on a football heritage level. That's just what I have to say. Now, if they're entitled to go with the salary they're having and with treatment they're having, I have to agree with you. It's just stats. And it is what it is. It is what it is.
So let's see Khvicha Kvaratskhelia at PSG. Like, PSG are cooking, okay? Khvicha Kvaratskhelia now, João Neves, Vitinha, William Pacho, okay? He's underrated for such a good season that he's having. Nuno Mendes, Hakimi, Barcola, Gonçalo Ramos is scoring goals. PSG could win a Champions League in the next 5 years. That's not too crazy, okay? Because they, in terms of scouting ability, they get the right players. Beraldo, William Pacho.
This PSG is so underrated. Now we don't have the names of Neymar, Messi, Mbappe, but we have such good players. They are making the right decisions, and it's actually scary. They're going for the youth, for people, for players with a lot of talent that have not been discovered yet and not have a great stage. And like you said, it's not crazy to see a PSG winning the Champions League in the next 5 years.
And we always see Rodrigo Moura. I know he's not going to PSG, but we saw in the last 2 days in the Portuguese media that on the radar, Rodrigo Moura is on the radar of PSG. It's like, what? You already have João Neves and Vitinha and one in Zaire Emery. Come on, chill out. But it's just the fact that they're looking. They're searching.
And Rodrigo Moura's situation reminds me of a player called Gonçalo Guedes at the time. He was very young and went to PSG straight away from Benfica. He was not yet developed, but PSG have an eye on the Portuguese league and Portuguese talent. And we have Gonçalo Ramos, we have Vitinha, we have João Neves, and we had Gonçalo Guedes that did not reach the levels that he could have reached, but is still a great player. And having an eye on Rodrigo Moura is very clinical for PSG and very important for its future.
And even other names, Daniel Pereira, okay, and let's not forget the first one to start everything, and he's a legend, and I know it's very from the past, Pauleta, right? Pauleta, one of the top goal scorers at PSG.
For
okay,
a long
very
time,
interesting.
The top goal scorer for PSG.
And here are the transfers. I just wanted to state this, and Barcelona, come on, what Barcelona are doing. It's Dani Olmo and that whole situation, Paulo Vitor, Dani Olmo, was a bit embarrassing, okay? And I think Barca fans, they have to, it's not they want to earn more, but they deserve better, okay? From a team like Barcelona, it's madness that a team like Barcelona doesn't have Dani Olmo, Paulo Vitor registered, okay? Now they have to go to court and have it justified. It's a very sad situation, but my message to Barcelona fans, you got Lamine Yamal, Barcelona fans. You have Pau Cubarsí. You have La Masia, the best academy in football, okay? The best, no doubts. And you have to restructure things, okay? Obviously, Barcelona has to sell players.
100%. Barcelona, of course, it needs to sell players. But what are the managers doing right now at Barcelona? What are they doing? I really don't understand. If it wasn't for La Masia, where would Barça be? Where would it be? It's really important to see that the talent is coming from La Masia, but the decisions aren't being rightly made with the.
But I like Hansi Flick. I like Hansi Flick.
No,
I think Hansi Flick has
and
been
the
a
coach
positive.
as well. The coach as well. Hansi Flick is a really good coach. That is my personal opinion. Of course, there are people that maybe see Hansi Flick as inconsistent. I don't know. He isn't proven. But I think Hansi Flick is a world class coach. Huh? I really believe that.
And this is like
And
I want to
he's
really
having
say this. It's the to solve the issue of Barcelona, which is obviously financial. It's obviously selling players at the right time. You gotta sell Ronaldo Araújo, okay? When you have Pau Cubarsí and Inigo Martinez playing the way they are, and you can get more than 40 million, you gotta sell Frankie De Jong. That is the second best earner at Barcelona currently when he's not needed on the pitch. You gotta sell Eddie Garcia because his time has passed, okay? You gotta sell players at the right time. Now you have Gavi, now you have Pedri, now you have Tony Fernandez, Guilherme Fernandez, you have Fermin Lopez. Not all of them can play on the pitch. So when it's time to sell, like Pablo Torre, I'd sell him now. Please sell players, even though if they're of La Masia, only 11 players can play on the pitch, okay? And Barca, throughout the years, have sold players on it cheap, like Icardi, like Onana, like Ferenc Jutkla now to Club Brugge, like Grimaldo to Benfica. La Masia they've been used by football time and time again. No more, okay? Barca, sell your players at the right price and go bold for the future, because you already have the best team in football if you want in 2-3 years time. If you want, no, that's quite a bit if you can do it. You can have the best team.
You have to make the right decisions, but the opportunity is there. Sell the right players, make the right moves, get the transfers and deal with them in the right way. Dani Olmo, this situation with Dani Olmo is embarrassing for Barca. Is embarrassing. People are starting to put Barca in a different level than Real Madrid. Florentino Perez is managing in a whole different level Real Madrid than Barca is doing. And it's really embarrassing for this Spanish side that has the history that it has to manage players like this after Messi. If it wasn't for La Masia, this would be a scandal. Right now, it's just embarrassing, and let's keep it that way. Figure it out.
Well stated. Very well stated. And the last thing regarding Barca, it's I believe. I'm gonna go bold and say I believe Lamine Yamal will be a top five in the Ballon d'Or. He's gonna finish top 5 in my books at the end of the season. Mo Salah, I understand, but he's going absolutely crazy, Mo Salah, and he's the best right winger in terms of numbers, in terms of everything. Everything but talent. For me, the number one right winger in the world of football in terms of talent is Lamine Yamal at the age of 17, because he's winning a Supercopa for Barca. He's the man. He's the main man for make Barca to be a contender in La Liga, in the Champions League. And if Lamine Yamal wins the Champions League with Barcelona this season, maybe it's not top 5 like I'm saying 100% in the Ballon d'Or, but maybe he gets the gold. So Mo Salah, keep going bold, but I really wanted to state that Lamine Yamal is coming for that number 1 spot.
Alex, Lamine Yamal in the World Cup that is going to be in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, he's going to be 23. He's going to be 23.
In 2030. Oh,
in 2030. He's going to be 23. How crazy is that? And imagine the levels that we're going to see at Lamine Yamal in that World Cup, in his own club, in his own stadium.
And Kylian Mbappe will be next to 30 or above 30 years old? Above 30. Above 30.
31, 32.
Oh, Mbappe above 30. So Mbappe, your time is now. But Lamine Yamal's time is now. And in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years, Lamine Yamal is going 100%. For everything. So go bold in the comment section here with the transfers. We spoke about a lot, but what do we have to speak in other podcast people? Okay, let us know in the comment section down below. But we started this pod, Gonçalo, stating that you're a Manchester United fan and a Benfica fan. And congratulations, Gonçalo. Benfica won the Taça, the Liga, okay? In the last 18 editions, Benfica won 8 editions of the Taça de Liga. So how are you feeling with this win with Ángel Di Maria, your legend, at the club still?
No, there's 2 points. The first one is I'm really happy with this win for Benfica. It really means a lot. It's been 521 days since Benfica won a single title, and Benfica is the biggest club in Portugal. This means a lot, and this title was Super Taça. It was not the championship. So it's really important for Benfica. No. I mean the title we won 521 days ago.
Got you.
It was
You're right.
Super Taça. Right now we won Taça da Liga. Taça da Liga we haven't won since 2016. It's so important for the club. We won 7 in a row and we had never won it since then. And it's really important to regain the confidence. Right now the league looks like a toss-up. The league, the top 3 clubs are in the difference of 3 points. Sporting is leading. Porto today lost. Benfica is 3 points away from Sporting and played good yesterday. Won the Taça da Liga against the leaders right now in the league. So anything is possible. The league is very exciting, and we have not seen this in a very, very long time.
Fair point. Very fair point, Gonçalo. And I wanted to state, I say with Di Maria, just before you say something here, I just wanted to say, Di Maria coming back to Benfica, it shows how a true legend he is. For me, Di Maria is the most underrated player in football in the last 10 years, next to Thomas Müller. Angel Di Maria and Thomas Müller are, for me, those 2 players. And Di Maria in his career, 938 games, 223 goals, 305 assists, 35 trophies, and carrying Messi along the way to win so many of those trophies. Angel Di Maria, you deserve a ton of more credit, and what he did was insane, and it's being insane in the last 1 year at Benfica.
If Messi did not exist, Angel Di Maria would have been the greatest Argentinian player since Maradona. And that is my bold statement, but I really don't think since Maradona there has been a greater players than Messi and Angel Di Maria. Angel Di Maria is doing crazy, and it's about the passion. It's about the passion. What offers do you think Di Maria had from Saudi Arabia, from the MLS, and he chose to go to the club that he wants to go? He chose to go to Benfica, to Lisbon, to the club that people love him, to the city that he's passionate, that he saw his daughters grow. It's all about the passion, and us football fans, we have to respect this. He has to have the respect worldwide of someone that decided, okay, I have an amazing offer to go to MLS, to Saudi Arabia, and I say no. I say football is more important. Football heritage is more important, and I am here to show that I still have levels at 37. He has already more assists than Messi in the Champions League, and is 1 away from tying Ronaldo in the Champions League. There's still at least 3 matches to go. Let's see how he does it, if he breaks Ronaldo's record.
I think it could happen. I think it really could happen. And the Taça da Liga, just a fun stat here for Benfica fans. Only 1 goal suffered in this edition of the Taça da Liga, in which it was a penalty of Victor Gyökeres. So Benfica, in terms of stats, in terms of what we saw on the pitch, you guys deserve to win. Some congratulations to Benfica, and something that is very important for Benfica fans that we saw from Taça da Liga, and Benfica needs it to translate to the league, is Andreas Sheldrup. Because Andreas Sheldrup on the left side with Alvaro Carreras behind him as a left back, no doubt in my mind, that is one of the most exciting under 21 duos in football. At the left, that might be the most exciting duo to watch if we have the chance to watch. So Sheldrup, Alvaro Carreras, please, I want to see that so many more times here in Portugal at the stadium, okay? It's such a privilege to have talents like these in our Portuguese league. So Andreas Sheldrup is just getting started, and we can get the feeling that he's going to be one of the best wingers in football with the given time, with the right development. Keep going bold, Andreas Sheldrup, and 2 Norwegian players starting for Benfica, Freddy Carlsen and Andreas Sheldrup. Very interesting.
But 100%. I like Porto has Rodrigo Moura and Samu. Benfica needed a youngster that comes and shows the levels. And
next
Andreas
to Mazaruz.
Exactly, next to Mazaruz. And
Antonio.
Exactly. I have a message for a special player that has been sided off, that people have seen, that have told him that he's not good enough, and showed again that he is the best player in Benfica to mark Victor Gyökeres, which is Antonio Silva. Antonio Silva came And Viktor Gyökeres did not do much in the game. Okay, he was always dangerous. Viktor Gyökeres is always dangerous. He still scored because it was a penalty. But António Silva played a great game, and we can still see he has world-class potential. This is my belief. I know Pedro has this belief that Diomande is better than António Silva, and I have to go bold that I do not agree. I still think António Silva will rise up and overcome this adversity and show the levels that he has in him. And yesterday, he did really show it with Viktor Gyökeres not being the star in the game.
António Silva at 21 has already 109 games played for Benfica. He's won the league for Benfica. He's been a starter so many games, and even represented the Portuguese national team 17 games, okay, at the age of 21, I repeat. So
Alex,
keep going bold with António. I agree, mate.
Why are people writing him off at 21? It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He comes in and he shows that he still has the levels. Of course, center backs have a difficult job. Sometimes they make mistakes. I remember Ruben Dias making mistakes at Benfica. And then look at where he is now. Let's be patient with António Silva, trust him, give him the right mentality, and try to make him the best version of himself.
Wait. So
yesterday we saw it.
So by what you're saying, I gotta ask you this. So you like to see in the League 2 a defense with Ruben, Carreras, Otamendi, António, and Tomás Araújo at the right back?
Yes. I think it makes sense. Oh, Alexander Ba is a good player. He's very
Benfica's right back. To give context to people that don't know, yes.
Yeah, Alexander Ba, Benfica's right back, is a very good player. The problem is he's very injury prone, and attacking wise he's not very creative. And so we need someone that has the feet to be good attacking, but still does the position defensively. And I think Tomás Araújo right now against Braga and against Sporting showed that he can be the man to do the right side as well. Tomás Araújo is showing that he's a new version of Ausnes. He's showing that he can play maybe in a center back, in a right back, and I have to go bold. I think Tomás Araújo can play at CDM as well, but that's another discussion.
We saw Zeno de Bast, okay? Zeno de Bast came on in this game, and he played next to Martin Huilman. And just as a bridge here, just because I'm mentioning Martin Huilman, I understand Florentino Luis being awarded the man of the match at this game, being of the team that won, and obviously winning all duels that were against him. Florentino Luis was immense, and it's insane that Florentino Luis doesn't play for Portugal. Or is called up for Portugal sometimes, okay, because Florentino Luis has had glimpses of great form. So Portugal should call up Florentino Luis. And I'm not saying he's better than Martin Huilman, but I'm just stating that the Portuguese national team would be good to see Florentino Luis going to it, especially when he can represent Angola too. Just out of respect out of him, because he's playing great football. But Martin Huilman is the best midfielder in the Portuguese league.
I agree.
The importance he has. Sporting against Benfica played without Daniel Bragança, without Morita, without Pot. And when these players come back, obviously they're going to be stronger. But the presence that Martin Huilman had in this game, I didn't feel it too much because he's that good. Martin Huilman, I guarantee you, FC Wonderkid fans, he's one of the best CDMs in world football. And I'm going to go bold and say for City fans, he's the best replacement coming off the bench from a Rodri. Calvin Phillips is very different from a Martin Huilman in all aspects. Martin Huilman is, in fact, in form-wise, one of the best CDMs in football. Please pay attention to him. He scored that goal against England in the Euros, but it's not because of that goal. It's because of the form he has and no goals.
The intensity, the mentality, the passion, the heart that Martin Huilman shows again and again. He's so consistent. He's very, very good. I think he's by far the best midfielder in the Portuguese league. And yesterday, to me, personally, I'm a Benfica fan, and I say he was probably man of the match yesterday. If Sporting had won, there would be no discussion. I think Florentino Luis played an amazing game. He also did the penalty that Viktor Gyökeres scored and converted, which was important for the flow of the game. And so I think Martin Huilman, if Sporting had won, he would have been the man of the match. Now, Benfica won. We won the lottery of the penalties, the penalty shootout, and in the end, It's very important. It was more important for Benfica to win than for Sporting to win, and that is why I'm happy. I don't think the moral of Sporting is very affected from this loss, but I think Benfica's morality is now strengthened.
I completely agree.
I think Benfica's morality now has a different aura around the coach, around the players, and with new youth, new possibilities from the starting 11 with Andreas Schelderup, we can see a different Benfica, and that in this game made me believe in that, and this title made me believe in that.
And this is a question for the FC Wonderkid fans: that who is the best Wonderkid in the Portuguese league? My favorite Wonderkid is Rodrigo Mora, but now we have Andreas Schelderup scoring goals in finals. You have Diomande, you got Rodrigo Mora, obviously, Giovanni Kenda at Sporting, also called up for the Portuguese national team, Manu Silva, Alberto Costa at Vitória, some great names in the Portuguese league. So comment down below, who do you believe is the best Portuguese best Wonderkid in the Portuguese league? And I forgot, Gustavo Sá of Famalicão. Pay attention to this name. A player that I'm shocked. How didn't he go to Benfica or Sporting or Porto ainda?
It's true. But I agree with you that Rodrigo Mora is the best talent in the league right now. And Samu, maybe even Samu is the biggest talent. Samu Amorodion is probably the best talent in the league right now. I don't think he has the possibility of being a world class striker. But I also have to say two names that we still haven't seen in Benfica, and I need to have a message to send a message to Bruno Lage. Please pay attention to these two players, Gianluca Prestiani and Benjamin Rolheiser. Benjamin Rolheiser is a very, very good player. If you see an recent interview of Julian Alvarez was asked which player that you've played before has the biggest potential, and he said Benjamin Rolheiser. Julian Alvarez and Gianluca Prestiani in the preseason, he showed that he is capable of coming out of the bench and being a starting player, starting option. The thing is, he was injured. Right now, he's in form, and we need to play him more. Bruno Lage, please look at these two players, Benjamin Rolheiser and Gianluca Prestiani, not just Andreas Schelderup. But why subbing Andreas Schelderup?
That was a weird decision. That was a weird decision. Makes no sense.
I understand Kerem Aktürkoğlu started so well this season, but you have to look at the bench, see that he's not in form right now, and we have other solutions. Believe in Andreas Schelderup. He scored such a good goal, and he should have played at least 70 minutes, in my opinion.
Very true. That was a weird decision. Subbed off in the second half. Just giving context here to the people. You're right, Gonçalo. Portuguese league is a 3-horse race currently. Sporting could win it, Porto could win it, Benfica could win it. It's very exciting to watch, just like the Serie A, okay? Our league is very underrated, and I think Sporting, when Pot, Braga, and Samorita come back, they're the favorites. With Victor Gyökeres, when he's in form, he's the best player in the Portuguese league, okay? Very special. Not if English fans, I don't want to state that, but people that don't follow the Portuguese league, please trust what we're saying here, that this Sporting team, this Benfica team, and this Porto team, they're worth watching because you can see a ton of players that are going to be in world football in the next 2 to 3 years. I really feel it with this team, right, Gonçalo?
I agree. I think Sporting is also making clinical. They're hiring the clinical positions that they're lacking. I think they're going for Rui Silva from Betis is very important for their future. And
True.
I think the only thing I think from Sporting, and this can be something really title deciding, is they don't have depth in the midfield. And what I say is they have three main players, which are Morten Hjulmand, which is Morita,
Bragança.
and Bragança. They now have Simões, which is coming
17,
in, but he's still 17. So if one or two players are injured, it's very, very hard for Sporting to play in the way they normally play, which is amazing football. But
when Pot comes back, he can also play that position.
I agree. He can play in that position. But it's not his best position. Not his best position at all. And I think normally coaches prioritize to see him on the wing. Let's see.
Let's see what is happening. Let us know down below in the comment section how are you feeling with the Portuguese league. And it's very exciting to watch because Benfica, yeah, they win a title, but who's going to win the Portuguese league? That's the big doubt. But now, here, we got to stay tuned in the FC Wonderkid podcast. Sérgio Conceição, he wins another title, but now at AC Milan, okay? I know he drew with Cagliari, but trust Sérgio Conceição because no man is going to be madder at the fact that he drew with Cagliari than Sérgio Conceição, okay? What I love about it is before the game, I understand, Sérgio Conceição talks about, how do you feel, Sérgio, after winning the Supercopa and now in the league? He says, look, we're 17 points off the first place in Serie A. A team like AC Milan can never be so distant towards winning the league. So currently, I'm very mad. So, how are you feeling with Sérgio Conceição's 2 remontadas against Juve and Inter? And yeah, how are you feeling, Gonçalo?
I just love, I always remember when we talk about Sérgio Conceição, my favorite quote from Sérgio Conceição is, my tiki-taka is putting the ball in the goal, inside the net. That's it. This is my tiki-taka. And this is what it's the best summary I can give of anyone about Sérgio Conceição. Sérgio Conceição is a manager with heart, something that Milan fans really like. I know a lot of Milan fans, and I know they like a coach with heart that can motivate that team. And next to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I think he can have a clinical influence in key players that can reach world-class levels. He's already spoken about Rafael Leão, that he can even reach a Ballon d'Or status. Mm-hmm. He has Christian Pulisic. He has even Mike Maignan in the goal. They have a really good team that can reach, that should not be fighting just for top 4. I know the aim this season is top 4 and Champions League, but next season they need to aim for the Serie A title.
Exactly. AC Milan, Rossoneri, you're back. You're back now with Sérgio Conceição. But just like Gonçalo said, Sérgio Conceição has a demand, a respect to history, to football heritage, and to the name of AC Milan, okay? There is, just like Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, Sérgio Conceição at AC Milan has the responsibility to win. And you feel it on the way. Not just like they talk, but how they act, okay? They have to win. It's their mindset. It's the way they think. And you said it, Gonçalo, well. So AC Milan in their group have players that can have world-class form, okay? Like Mike Maignan, Theo Hernandez, Tijani Reinders, Rafael Leão, Christian Pulisic, okay? That at Dortmund and Chelsea had great glimpses. We won a Champions League at Chelsea, let's not forget. So Sérgio Conceição with this group, with new players being signing, new center backs, a new striker, more forwards, okay? Sérgio Conceição needs more goals from this team. I believe AC Milan are completely back, and if Milan are going to go crazy bold, they need to sign a center back like Giorgio Scalvini from Atalanta. But more realistically, it's going to the PSV back like Olivier Boscagli and Ryan Flamingo. If AC Milan sign these types of center backs, which are incredibly needed, we're going to see a different Milan next season and the following 6 months, okay? So AC Milan, trust the process, and I'm gonna say another position that they need. But yes, Gonçalo, I feel like you want to say something here.
No, I think AC Milan needs time to restructure, make the right decisions, keep the players, keep Theo Hernandez, keep Rafael Leão. I think what is really key right now is to motivate Rafael Leão to bring out the best of him. I think that is crucial, and we've seen that the best performances of AC Milan is when Rafael Leão is at his best. When he's not at his best, AC Milan suffers, and we need to keep him. We need AC Milan needs to keep him. AC Milan needs Zlatan Ibrahimovic to influence him, to have the right mentality, and I think Sérgio Conceição, a Portuguese coach, of course, Paulo Fonseca was there as well, but I think Sérgio Conceição already speaking about the potential, the Ballon d'Or potential of Rafael Leão. way he
Italian
speaks.
of Sérgio Conceição is insane. La squadra da ba 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 ba. I was like, whoa, you're Portuguese, mate, just like me, and you're speaking in Italian in such fluency. It's
Played
amazing
for a
to
long
see.
time in Inter. He played for a long
Exactly,
time in
and
Inter.
Lazio. It's amazing to
Lazio.
see, and respect to Sérgio Conceição to be so confident and speak so eloquently Italian. Okay, I'm even jealous. And my last thing with AC Milan, I said they need center backs, but they also need the striker. And AC Milan currently have Tammy Abraham. Okafor is leaving in January. Good news. Luka Jovic and Tammy Abraham. I like Tammy Abraham and Morata, but a team like AC Milan, if they're going to be fighting for Champions League in 2-3 years, they need a goal scorer, a different type of goal scorer.
Totally.
And I thought to myself, it would be really bold to see Darwin Núñez at AC Milan, wouldn't it, Gonçalo? That would be an elite replacement for these players. And Darwin Núñez and Camarda for the future, for AC Milan to fight for Serie A and Champions League in 2-3 years' time, that could happen. And that would be a crazy duo. Darwin Núñez with Sérgio Conceição. Insane, okay? From enemies to friends. That's insane.
So true,
From Porto
so true.
Benfica games to now see them together at AC Milan, maybe. That would be a great replacement, and I know he'd cost 50, 60, but I'd get him. I'd break the bank.
I think it really makes
for AC
sense.
Milan.
And also, even though Sérgio Conceição never coached Darwin, he had to analyze him a lot of times playing against Benfica, and he knows what his strengths are and where he lacks some
weaknesses, yes.
Their weaknesses, exactly. Thank you. And I think it could be a good fit for AC Milan, Darwin Núñez.
I just thought about that. I was like,
Actually wanted to tell you, it's very impressive that in the world football right now, there's not that many world class strikers.
True.
A lot of teams are lacking this clinical striker. A lot of teams are searching for a Haaland, Victor Gyökeres, maybe Osimhen, but I can't see another clinical striker. Just Harry Kane and Robert Lewandowski.
I'd say
Which
Šeško at
are-
Leipzig. It's a risk still, but I'd go for it. And another player that it would fit amazingly, okay, at AC Milan for me is Jonathan David. Okay, 6
Right.
months contract from Lille. He's convincible to go to AC Milan. In my point of view, I think he would add a ton of value, especially when we see North American players like Yunus Musa, Christian Pulisic. I think he'd be open to joining AC Milan and the Rossoneri, Jonathan David. So Olivier Boscagli, Jonathan David, this transfer window to be signed in the summer. Then you get Samuel Ricci from Torino. Also would be a great double pivot with Tijani Reinders. It could be a very interesting team that we're seeing here. But AC Milan fans, let us know down below. How are you feeling with this team? How are you feeling with Sérgio Conceição? Because here in Portugal, we're very optimistic and very happy to see one of the best managers in football like Sérgio Conceição be at such an historic club and where he deserves, okay? The best times of Sérgio Conceição are still to come. I gotta believe
Just
in another
one
Portuguese
last thing that I have to say is AC Milan believe in Sérgio Conceição. When Roger Schmidt in Benfica got sacked, there were a lot of options for Benfica, and people started speaking that Sérgio Conceição, a Porto legend, could coach Benfica. And I was in the opinion that even though we've always had this rivalry with Sérgio Conceição, he would add value to Benfica and would take Benfica to different levels. And I think he can do that with AC Milan as well. So
Bold.
just trust him, and you will get the potential out of a Tiani Reinders, out of Rafael Leão, out of a Theo Hernandes, and out of Mike Maignan, and all the very, very good players that AC Milan already has in their squad.
Completely agree. So go bold down below and like this video for more videos just like this. Here in the outro now, Gonçalo. Any bold prediction you'd like to do here at the end? A bold statement here for the FC Wonderkid listeners?
My bold statement today is that Manchester United will win the Europa League and go to Champions League next year.
Not Porto winning the Europa League with Rodrigo Mari Samu.
No, because of the coach. Not because of the talent of the players, but because of the coach. And I think Manchester United will see UEFA Champions League games next season because they will win the Europa League. And that has to be the target of Manchester United right now. That has to be the target. And we know the league is... We screwed up. We screwed up in the league with in the FA
Still
Cup.
in the FA Cup.
We should win it. But I think the priority needs to be Europa League because it puts us in a place of Champions League next year. That's it.
Imagine if Ruben Amorim this summer, okay, he goes to the transfer window of the summer with a FA Cup 1 and with an Europa League 1. Manchester United will be in the Champions League and obviously one of the contenders to win the league the following season, justifying the funds coming in for Ineos, for Ratcliffe, for whoever. I think Berad already knows that Ruben Amorim is that guy, but it's even more of a reason with Champions League football to spend big money, and Old Trafford with Champions League, it makes sense. It doesn't feel the same with Europa League being played at Old Trafford. Thank you so much, Gonçalo. Yes, no, go bold again.
If I can say something else, it's
yes.
The Europa League is achievable also because this is the first year we're not seeing clubs that are in the Champions League dropping to the Europa League. Mm-hmm. So the Europa League, we already know the talent that there are, and we know there's Porto, there's other very good clubs that could win the Europa League, but we already know as well that Manchester United is probably the club with the biggest history there and the club that has the most potential of winning it, and we have to clutch it. And I
look at Tottenham. Look at Tottenham. I'm joking. Tottenham's still in it though. Porto's still in it. Who's going to win the Europa League? Comment down below. That's an interesting topic right there. Thank you so much, Gonçalo, for being here at FC Wonderkid, episode 16. It's been fantastic. Absolutely love to have you here. I can't wait to see Gonçalo with Pedro once again. I feel like it's going to be a good debate now with Pedro losing the Taça da Liga.
I want that bad. I want that episode bad. I wish he was here today to mock him a little bit.
The man was traveling. So like this video, comment down below, I want Pedro or something like that. Show that you love Pedro, that you would like to have him back. That's a huge help. But again, thank you so much, Gonçalo, for going bold. Some great moments right here. Thank you for going bold. And again, the listeners, thank you for listening until now. It's been fantastic, and thank you for going bold.